very warm welcome to all of our friends, community members, gamers and viewers worldwide on different platforms. Welcome to our channel, welcome to our Destiny 2 Beyond Light stream, the Dawning Season stream. I need to stress, thank you for being here with us today, and thank you for supporting our channel and all we do here for everyone to enjoy. We've come to yet another Christmas, and the Dawning Season indeed is here in order to present us with some rather wonderful activities and many goodies. As you know, Able Event is always giving us many tasks. Most notably, we need to get some ingredients to bake some cakes and cookies, and therefore once they're giving us gifts, we are going to be rewarded. So this is a very interesting season activity. We have it every single year, and quite frankly it does get a bit tricky if we are getting the wrong ingredients and some of the cookies get burnt. So I had some messages yesterday asking me about the Dawning overall. I think mainly from people who have not played Destiny. As you know, we have several communities here fully on board, and they include our friends friends from Warzone as well as Apex and PUBG, maybe some other games like Halo, Elder Scrolls Mass Effect, and Plague Tale, many other games that we stream here on my channel over the years. But we obviously have largest communities attached to Warzone, PUBG, Apex, and indeed this wonderful, sci-fi opera called Destiny. And Destiny's been here on the channel from the day one, and really has been pegged as the backbone of everything we did. In fact, quite a few of our friends from Warzone community were getting curious and wanted to find out more about this wonderful, sci-fi shooter. They wanted to know more about all we did and how our community worked. And I explained that anyone who joins our community will not be disappointed, and there are so many novelties, so many different niceties to come our way in the new year, and you will be familiar with the biggest and the most important part of it all, which is obviously Destiny becoming cross-platform. Crossplay is what we are going to be having very, very shortly, and I'm truly delighted because I really feel that all of our friends on Xbox and PlayStation finally will be able to join forces together with our veterans on PC. Frankly, the vast majority of the veterans who played Destiny 1 migrated to PCs for the sequel because they felt that the performance of the game was much enhanced and they had the best quality graphics, the smoothest gameplay, the best frame rate, and everything else. And I know for certain that excuse me, our friends Sakapupu and Captain Jack are going to be joining us here as soon as the game becomes accessible from all platforms. So what we do today is it's going to be our last stream before the Christmas break, and we are going to first of all talk a bit about the year, about everything we've done so far. But before I get into the kind of review mode, we are going to be looking at some very important things related to the season and to the dawning overall. So without further ado, I just want to tell you first of all some news. So bear with me. We'll have a look at the news first, and as always the news are delivered on my Twitter. So anyone who is not familiar, you need to go to information button on Twitch, hit the tab that gives you all the other hubs. Amongst them there is Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Discord, and please join all of those. Each one of them is dedicated to a different kind of activity. So if you want to learn more about games in terms of how they were produced, developed, you go to Facebook. It's a bit like an encyclopedia of certain games. And if you want to find out what's being currently streamed, you'll go to Instagram. You'll enjoy some of the concept art, the graphics, and everything else on offer. If you want to be kept abreast with all the news, the latest state-of-the-art down to the last minute, you are going to be going to Twitter. Twitter will give you the very best introduction to all that is happening. So really today not many things apart from the best of and the year in review, as well as some information on Cyberpunk. So just go through some of these. First of all, we'll look at what Push Square have been telling us. They talked about the very best games of the year, and as you would imagine, the games that are certainly taking all the prizes and accolades are the ones that were featuring also on the recent Game Awards, and you will know full well that there were two of those amongst us, and The Last of Us 2 that indeed was seen as being the most successful. For some reason I'm not getting the information quickly enough, and there we are. We have staff writer Lloyd Coombs, who indeed has been writing about the best games. He went, I think, from 5 to 1, and he is primarily looking at what's been accessible on PlayStation. So today we'll just look at whatever they're recommending, and I think we'll all agree that there have been quite a few exclusives on PS in the course of the year that were absolutely incredible. And amongst them, he thought Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales that just came out recently is one of the very best. So he's recommended the game and telling us a bit about it. The other game that many people liked, and that includes also Xbox and PC gamers, is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. We've seen quite a lot of coverage for the game through Microsoft and Xbox presentations, and I think people have been accessing it mainly on consoles. So therefore he is vouching for it as number 4. A very, very big game, very popular, and indeed very, very immersive, and definitely game that grabbed me straight away after watching a few graphics, and I played some of it, I must admit, at the Infogamer event I attended last year, as they were introducing the games in advance. There were some demos and some clips. Really absolutely incredible. Brings it back to the shoguns and the world of ancient Japan. And indeed, you really get to know all about that part of the history through wonderful gameplay and a lot of action. So Ghost of Tsushima, of course, one of the best PlayStation exclusives that have been released in the course of the year, and I think everyone who entered the world of Tsushima was truly delighted. So number 2 is the game that everybody expected for more than a decade, and that is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm very, very delighted to have played it a bit, and just like any other Square Enix game, it is really a true joy to participate, and very similar to everything else. But what I'm really amazed by is with the remakes of Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, how closely they really were aligned to the story and everything else. But you are really reworking the game and experiencing it in a completely different universe with state-of-the-art graphics tailored for the next-gen consoles. That simply can't go wrong, so most highly recommended. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Number 1, as expected, is another very big Sony exclusive. It is The Last of Us Part 2. Won the majority of the awards during the ceremony recently. Jeff Keighley and the company were able to provide the game with the very best presentation that was allocating nominations for quite a number, and as we've seen, it just seemed like really plain sailing for them. So these are the games that indeed Push Square are recommending. If you are an avid PlayStation fan and gamer like myself, you really want to be having at least one of those during this Christmas period. The good news is many of those are offered on discounted prices through January sales, and therefore you can enter those sales today and just hit your PlayStation Store button, have a look at the titles, and treat yourself, maybe get an early Christmas present, or New Year's present in fact, by accessing it on a greatly reduced price. These 5, I'll repeat them again. We'll go from number 5, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 + 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and finally, the biggest one, number 1, is The Last of Us Part 2. We've heard yesterday, I talked at length about that new American law that is being passed through one of their government departments, and the latest US COVID-19 relief bill includes a law that targets illegal streaming services. It specifically doesn't target viewers, instead focusing on platforms that pirate huge amounts of copyrighted material. So anyone who's interested, you'll remember that I've given you yesterday quite a very good rundown on what this indeed was concerning. We simply need to wait and see what happens. I'm in two minds about it. I think that the vast majority of content that is licensed and copyrighted would have to be respected either way. But principally, if that is going to be including any of the songs or materials that are already given to us through the audiovisual packages the video games really are, then that will cause us a lot of concern. And I've had some issues with YouTube in the past, not on this channel, but on my Film Dialogue hubs, where in fact the content that somebody else, the third party, was presenting through various other forums was labeled as copyrighted, when in fact didn't have a license, and it was extremely difficult to prove that I had a fully legitimate right to be at least placing it on my playlists. So it is a very, very complicated, very complex area of international law, and considering that video games make trillions of dollars a year and appear to be the most popular leisure pastime activity for everyone on the planet, particularly for people younger than 30 or 35, I should say, maybe even 40 in fact, that really tells you that there is a capacity for huge revenue to be made, or indeed for the revenue to be lost if people do not respect the rules. I personally would have liked to have seen a lot more input on moderation, on people being employed in order to filter out the content which is unacceptable, that features not just on Twitch and live streams but online overall. and that really is not given the publicity that it does actually require. I talked about that a lot here on my channel. You will know, as an ethical gamer, as a person supporting family-friendly content, even for 18 plus games, I have been very popular amongst all generations of gamers worldwide. That isn't the case with lots of other people who are using such forums in order to obliterate hard-working streamers, provide, you know, uncontained, unfathomable quantity of abuse. And I personally feel that it's an area that requires a lot of attention, in the same way as copyrights and licensing laws are acquiring at the moment. Both are extremely important, but both require the same legislation that will prevent people from using such platforms in order to voice venom, to upset others who work hard to present family-friendly channels to others, and sometimes to be used as platforms for, you know, outing a certain degree of unacceptable thought, which would include hate speech, problematic political views, or anything else that appears to be troublemaking, warmongering, or generally very unpleasant. We've heard that Modern Warfare Soap will be arriving in Warzone as an operator, so if you're interested, just access the information given to us on OPM UK, which is basically the official PlayStation magazine. And we also heard that Metro 2033 is free on the Epic Game Store for 24 hours. So if you're accessing Epic Store today, make sure just click on download or acquire, because you will get it for free. Metro 2033 Redux is a wonderful game. Anyone who played Stalker, or people who like Dead Space or Alien, will absolutely be in awe of all the activities in that wonderful shooter. And most highly recommend everyone just to access Epic Games today on the PC, download the game for free, keep it forever. I've got it on all platforms, so I'm not really fussed, but you know, at the same time, want to recommend it to every single person perhaps had not tried it, because Metro 33 is very similar to Stalker, but Stalker was a PC game, never came to any of the platforms, whilst Metro 23 is indeed accessible on every single device. We've heard that Sony has 10 movies and TV shows based on PlayStation properties in production. So basically what they'll do is they'll be trying to make films that are based on video games, and that seems to be the next step. We've seen that graphic novels were imported to film industry and then they migrated to video gaming. So at the moment, I think what we're looking for is the games like the Sony exclusives, God of War to start with, The Last of Us. Most importantly, they probably will make a television series based on the original story, the Uncharted, and the story goes on and on. You know, maybe there will be GTA 5, God knows, because they can see that there is a huge marketing potential in those titles, because obviously they've had already hundreds of millions of people watching them, playing them worldwide, and very many of those want to see what that will look like on the big screen. So sadly, the film industry does require a lot of turnover due to the expense, the marketing budgets and everything else, and one section of that AAA blockbuster units that we have in LA will be converting to that type of production. We know that some of those actually work quite good, and I can certainly tell you that for me, some of the Avengers and Marvel films like Black Panther and Doctor Strange were excelling. The first Thor I quite liked. Wonder Woman I thought was a terrific film. But you know, when you're making a film that's based on a graphic novel, you've got to be really adhering to the rules of the story and all that everyone else will be familiar with, and that poses a lot of difficulty if you want to be interpreting and making a film about other issues in addition to what you're presenting. So therefore the skills of those directors such as Christopher Nolan with Batman trilogy will be excelling and presenting us with certainly the films that will always stand out. And also, as you know, it's very difficult to make a film that's basically at the same time sticking to the rules and assimilating all that's been present in graphic novels compared to the director's vision of it, right? Because Batman, as presented by Christopher Nolan, is a film about lots of different issues which are non-graphic novel or non-Batman related, and this is there is fear of technology, there's fear of global corporations becoming dictatorships and actually running governments. There is the usual Western theme, good versus evil, and obviously you have all other elements of romance, of very good narrative and wonderful storytelling, as well as his usual experiments with time and space. So cinematically it's mouth-watering, narratively it is really exciting, and also for anyone who's a fan of graphic novels, it is a real treat. So these films have got to be embraced with a great deal of excitement, and we'll simply wait and see what kinds of teams are going to be brought fully on board. As I said, PlayStation Store is already offering lots of different discounts. You are likely to be able to get some really good prices on fantastic games, inclusive of Valhalla, which in fact is offered on a 20% discount. You have 33% discount on Watch Dogs Legion, 33% on Immortals Phoenix Rising. Obviously these are brand new titles, so don't expect anything massive, but on the older ones, God of War you'll get for £10, The Division you get for less than 8, so that can't go wrong. Halo Infinite Studio is thanking everyone for their patience following the delay, and indeed the delay is, as we've seen it, due to the problems on the tech side of things. The game's not been released at the time as expected, and I'm very sorry to see that some people are quite unhappy, but if you were observing what happened to Anthem, Fallout 76 and most recently Cyberpunk, it's very unwise to release any of those AAA blockbusters early or too early prior to the actual complete works being fully done and dusted, and I think it was a wise decision. But some people are still quite concerned, but the vast majority, 90% of Halo fans indicated that they would much rather wait another year or 2 years than have a game that actually doesn't perform on the tech front. It's a multiplayer, so therefore many issues could occur. If you're looking at cross-platform access, that indeed is the primary target for the developer. So let me see what else have we got here, asking us to join Rainbow Six Siege on Xbox Game Pass. Most highly recommend it. In fact, I talked to our friend Hunter, who is a dedicated fan of FPS and military simulation games. Highly recommended Rainbow Six Siege, a wonderful tactical shooter, probably one of the best ever created, and also very much based on a maximum team effort similar to Squad, a game that is still in development but accessible on Steam. The big news is, for anyone who likes FPS and Battle Royale, Overwatch is now available free of charge for 2 full weeks. So the entire holiday season we can access Overwatch on all platforms free of charge. Make sure you entertain yourself with the game. It's truly delightful. It does have a lot of action, and it does have lots of other add-ons and interesting inclusions that other games are lacking. So you'll have your kill cam, you have you have like a facility to immediately post certain likes and join other people on various platforms. I think it's on Facebook that you just click on likes for certain individuals who are together in the game with you, and it generally seems to be a very community-based kind of social community type of game for everyone to enjoy. So really very highly recommend everyone to download and at least try Overwatch. And as you've seen, we've had many Battle Royale games emerging during the last couple of years. It is one of the most popular genres at the moment. There are many variations, but I certainly would say, from my perspective, Overwatch does combine the best features of some other FPS games, as well as some other death matches, and obviously the games in the arena of PvP. And at the same time, they're excelling on the audiovisual front as well as with those inclusions. So absolutely most highly recommended. It's for free from today, so for the next 2 weeks you can download and enjoy it with ease. So let me see if there's anything else that we really wanted to see. Yeah, the last bit of news is again related to Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk indeed is now seen as a huge success, because guess what? After all those bad negative news we've been hearing for more than a week, we realized, and the stats were published, the game sold more than 13 million copies worldwide. So if you think that those copies will be costing anything between £50 to £70, there is a very high probability that the game made somewhere around $700 million. And It's not a billion, but still, at the same time, we are looking at a very, very high success rate in terms of the sales. Probably, from what I could gather, if we were looking at just the first weekend, the first 7 days, more copies, digital and physical, had sold than any other release from CD Projekt Red. So, we need to take a bit of time and soak up all the information and see what happens next. I'm quite certain they will be working on excellent patches for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and the game probably after the new year will be in a fully fledged format. Everyone needs to be a bit patient. I mean, think about it, all the negativity during the first couple of days, during the first 7 days, and now we are hearing all the stories of success. It's just complete nonsense, really. And I think people need to conceptualize what kind of hard work is being done in order to make sure that all these games work perfectly. And we have seen and had a session a couple of days ago dedicated to the problems that AAA blockbusters had in recent years, and it was just literally 9 out of 10 being released with serious problems. And they can't predict at the moment, due to the tech we have, whether the large influx of people coming in will indeed be affecting the overall activity, and whether that sheer number of participants will melt the service, therefore the game engine will backfire. We need to see. It depends on the game, depends on the graphics, depends on what platform you're accessing, depends on the numbers, depends on speeds, depends on lots of different factors. So can you please remain a bit more patient instead of venting out your venom through Twitter, because I'm certain that CD Projekt Red did not want to take anyone's money. They simply want to provide a wonderful, wonderful game that everybody will enjoy for not like 2 or 3 days, but for 10 years ahead, which has been the case with the Witcher trilogy. So, I'm certain everything will be resolved in due course. So, certainly my advice is to everyone, stick to it, wait for the patches to come your way. Maybe don't play the game throughout the Christmas festivities period. Find something else which is fully functional, and then in due course you will be able to enjoy it. I did exactly the same with Anthem. I purchased it prior to its release, and it didn't perform well on PlayStation and Xbox. I've not played it on PC, so I won't be able to tell you whether there were any other issues in there. But I waited 6 months, and then, after 6 months, everything was pretty much resolved. There were some issues persisting, like lengthy loading periods, but they worked on the story, they tweaked some of the non-playable characters, there were many more missions to be had, and generally I played 145 hours on the campaign alone. So anyone who told you that Anthem is a flimsy little game with small, insignificant PvP input in there that you can finish in anything between 6 to 10 hours is just telling you nonsense. What it did was, they were just going to one character and following whatever pop-ups they had, obviously not being familiar with other BioWare epics. They didn't realize you had to talk to every single person to unlock activities, and I played 145 hours on the campaign. I mean, by that time, when it came to like 144, I knew I was entering the end game, and that was the way the game looked maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I played it in summer, and yet again I enjoyed every bit of it. I think the fighting sequences are absolutely extraordinary. But if there's one thing about Anthem that really concerns me still, the battle sequences and the story didn't actually gel in the same way as you would have expected, in other projects that BioWare were giving us over the years. There's a mismatch somewhere, and you really can feel that they could have spent a bit more time on the story, and so that the action would be very similar to what we had in Mass Effect. It's just a minor concern. It's not really, there isn't a great discrepancy, but I just feel it's not as smooth as you've had it in the previous releases in Dragon Age and Mass Effect, most notably, and therefore they work on a new method which will be completed in due course, and Anthem will be re-released as a game with, I guess, somewhat different in-game mechanics and structure. But as it stands today, and if you purchased it for £6 or £7, if you purchase the Elite, the Ultimate Edition, you would get fantastic entertainment, and you have a lot of content. And also, need to stress, Anthem is best played together with other friends. If you have a team of 4, that is where you're going to be enjoying it the most. You'll have raids in there, which are called cataclysms, and they will require that full team in order to, for you to get the rewards to finish some of the missions, otherwise you get killed instantly as soon as you walked into one of those areas. And still one of my well, BioWare remains one of my favorite developers of all times, and I really look forward to all that is to follow. My point about Anthem is really tying it in with Cyberpunk. We need to wait, we need to be patient, and the investment of 50 or 70 pounds that's gone down the CD Projekt Red way is going to be indeed working out very well in due course. I think that's all that I have on the news, but I will tell you very shortly about the Dawning. And the Dawning is indeed the activity that we are going to be looking at today. I need to take a short break. As soon as I come back, it's going to be in about 1 minute, I'll tell you a bit more about the Dawning, and then look at Evalvant, Destiny 2, the current status, and also we'll be looking at how to make some of the cookies and get some of the best rewards. So stay with us, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Alright, my friends, we are going to be looking at the dawning and all that it includes. So first of all, let's remind ourselves what the dawning is. We get seasonal content here in Destiny every single year, and there are several seasons in which Ava is producing various tasks fast to complete, and the dawning is the one we get at Christmas. So as I said early on, the way it works is we need to be first of all getting some ingredients. Once we get the ingredients, we use oven in order to bake cookies. The cookies are then given as gifts to NPCs and various characters in the game, and therefore we are getting then some lovely rewards. So basically, as Beyond Light's been ready for a month, it has created a buzz around the community. Lots of people migrated back to Destiny 2, it has to be said. I've seen a lot of activity both on Twitch and elsewhere. The number of gamers is really very great that they're presently doing all the tasks that came together with the latest expansion. So it's been a great success, and I think everyone who has been featuring on Twitter, and particularly those people who are posting to Bungie, Twitter and Reddit, indicated they really enjoyed all the activities, and most importantly they enjoyed Europa. Europa, this new planet, which actually is vast. It's the biggest planet created by Bungie so far, and even if you don't do really very much, just to travel from one part of the planet to another gives you this sort of aura of huge landscapes and many areas that require exploration. You always discover something that you haven't seen before, and that certainly has been seen as very interesting and to work into a player's advantage. So I've lots of positive views on Beyond Light so far, and I think everyone would agree that the new expansion is altering the course to a degree. We can see that we'll be getting a new content, we'll have many other NPCs and characters who will be talking to us, and we already engaged some of them around Exo Stranger. I think I was telling our friends to be always ready and alert for the inclusions. I think we are going to be getting them as the Destiny world continues to evolve, and make sure you don't miss out on this. They will be probably using the system that has been present and seen in the Division 2, because I've seen radios being introduced that tell you quite a lot of information about the current activity, and that's very similar to the Ubisoft Masterpiece. And we'll also be getting, I think, some of the characters who are going to be talking to us, or they'll be talking amongst each other. So it's very important you engage with them if the game is allowing you to kind of click on play or talk, and then they will start a conversation between each other as well. So that's very good. So we've seen that fans met with some old friends, delve into the fabled Deepstone Crypt, and learn how to wield the darkness. Regardless, the winter holidays are fast approaching, which of course we are here halfway through the winter, and the Dawning has returned to add a bit of light-hearted fun to the game. This year the event features a new currency called Dawning Spirit, so that's the new introduction that came together with Beyond Light that helps you progress personal and community-wide quests. What I particularly like is that she talked a lot about this year being a very difficult one for everyone in Destiny, and it's perfectly blending with the actual community experiences out there in real life, because this has been one of the most difficult years for most people who live on the planet at present, and we know why, because of the dreaded COVID-19. Just think about Britain at the moment. We are presently in a complete international blockade. Nobody can leave the island. We can't actually depart from Britain to the continent, and this caused many concerns for people who are truck drivers who want to spend time with their own families abroad, and that simply isn't going to happen. So it's just one of those contingencies. Anyway, the Dawning season Ava are reflecting on the difficulties, and therefore I think this was really well captured by the developer. So the Dawning is a yearly tradition in Destiny, aiming to celebrate all that has transpired in the past year. The tower sports some elegant nighttime decor, the Eververse stocks new cosmetics, and Guardians chase new gear. Players are once again asked to bake gifts using the Oven of Ava event, and Ava is the event handler, and deliver them to their respective NPCs. So there are two main quests in Dawning 2020 that concerns Dawning Spirit. The first is And to All a Good Flight, which has steps tracking the player's Dawning Spirit earnings. The other is Share the Dawning Spirit, which progresses as the entire community generates the currency. I've got to say that the overall community effort has been phenomenal during the last week, and Bungie reflected on that massive big effort. I think it's really interesting how they kind of created the overall activity. It's not the first time. We had that already in one of the last few seasons, and you know, we are then dependent on everyone's effort in order to reach certain goals. And I mean, no doubt that we obviously are going to be able to reach it. So even if you don't do anything, if you do just bits and pieces there in the dawning, you still will get that reward if everyone else contributes to that community effort. So keep this in mind. It's like it's a two-tier achievement, if you want it. And so the other is share the dawning spirit, which progresses as the entire community job set out already. So this quest will progress even if the player does not contribute, but there are ways to hasten and to all a good flight quest. Okay, so to start, Able Event offers 2 weekly bounties that reward 10 dawning spirits each. So when you complete the weekly bounties, you're getting 10 dawning spirits each. There are also infinitely repeatable bounties that ask players to deliver specific gifts. So these give only 1 dawning spirit upon completion. So if you're delivering a gift to any character, regardless of whether the player and the bounty will generate 3 dawning spirit, making the trouble of traveling to the NPC's location is going to be really worthwhile. So triumphs are a source of dawning spirit as well. So remember that your triumphs are very, very important. The event brought 9 cookie delivery triumphs that ask for deliveries to specific groups of NPCs. So each cookie delivery triumphs rewards 5 dawning spirit when claimed. So we are going to do that first of all because I've not looked at some of the triumphs yesterday, and I probably will be getting some rewards as well. As players partake in this pursuit, they will inevitably upgrade their Starfarer 7M ship, which has a perk that gives players a chance to find dawning spirit whenever they get a dawning ingredient to drop. I did manage to purchase the ship quite early yesterday, and I was not aware of the perk, so we need to have a look at that one, and we want to make sure that we are picking up all the dawning spirit as quickly as possible. So this perk is only active when the ship is fully upgraded. We'll have a look at that first of all. So let me see. For everyone who has a surplus of ingredients but are short on dawning essence, Master Rahul can offer a way to farm dawning spirit. All players need to do is craft burn edge transits, which happens often when the player puts in a dud recipe inside the oven. Those do not progress any triumph or quest, but bringing them, the Master Rahul will give you the player 1 dawning spirit on top of refunding the dawning essence used in a recipe. So that's in the nutshell what we are going to be doing in here. And if you want to know a bit more, Bungie also had created a very nice guide, which is called The Dawning Guide. You have to go to bungie.net, and then you have to go to the help article, and you will get it all there. Actually, just go to the news, and you will have the posting which is related to the dawning, and within the actual article, you'll get the link saying, if you want to get to know more about the guide, just click here. Well, that's what you need to do. I've got this on my Twitter, so if you're interested, just head to my Twitter. You can pick it up and read it in full. And basically, what it did say was, let me just see in here, just a minute. Everything is nicely explained. Participation requirements. Well, if you want to participate, it is free of charge. You do not have to purchase the game. And one part of Destiny is just simply offered on a free download. The dawning is part and parcel of that. So what you need to do after you download it, you need to be completing the mission called Escape the Cosmodrome to unlock the tower. So that's most important, because once you unlock the tower, you can speak to Ava, you can pick up your quests and bounties, and you can carry on. So we have quests and bounties, dawning spirit, quests and rewards. So basically the first thing you get is Starfarer 7M, which is the ship, and then you get this weapon, which is called Glacioclasm, and I picked up that weapon yesterday as well. You get holiday treats, and then the next lot is basically 2 different sparrows, Dawning Cheer and Alpine Dash. I picked up I think one of them, Dawning Cheer, yesterday. It looks absolutely wonderful. I really like it. It has like a small compartment at the back where you can be just simply stashing your glimmer. That's really terrific. Very similar to the ones we picked up last year as well. And then the bounties will be divided into weekly, daily and additional bounties. So basically pick up everything and work on every one of those in order to get maximum currency. And then you'll have recipes and materials. On the list in here, you will have every single cookie, right, with a recipe, and that's very, very useful. So if you're kind of worried that you're not sure where the materials are or what you need to do and how you can actually bake them, you need to reopen the guide. The guide tells you, like for instance, Jala Doodles for Commander Zavala. I baked them yesterday, and you need ether cane and delicious explosion. So it's quite simple. Traveler donut holes, you need Cabal oil, flash of inspiration, but there are some, let me see, I'm just surprised because I can see that they are writing in here like 2 ingredients, but I guess it's 2 materials and then there's another one that you bring in as the base, and it's very easily understood. So for instance, Lixney bird seed, that will be for Soraya. So every member of the NPC team, all the characters who you talk to, who give you certain tasks, will require a gift. Altogether there are 25. So remember, if you want to be succeeding, you will be doing a lengthy grind. So for instance, for Lixney birdseed, you will need ether cane and personal touch, and then you will have for Gentleman's Shortbread for Devrim K, ether cane and perfect taste. So I'm sure that if we have our friends from our Destiny community like Sakapupu and Captain Jack, they are going to be able to provide us with some tips, and I'm quite certain they probably are already way ahead compared to myself in the dawning season, and I'm quite certain they baked quite a few cookies and acquired lots of these gifts. So that's all in the nutshell, and that is exactly what we are going to be doing. Let's see what the triumphs are here. Just bear with me. There's some information on triumphs as well. During the dawning, players can complete dawning-related triumphs for rewards. To track progress toward dawning triumphs, players should visit the triumphs character menu, as we said earlier. Triumphs for the dawning 2020 that have been unlocked but not claimed will become inaccessible after the dawning ends at the weekly reset on January the 5th. It's very important because it's very easy to forget to look at your triumphs, and you've got to be able to do that every single day as you complete your gaming session. So go to your inventory and check everything, and therefore you'll be unlocking all of those rewards. So my friends, that's about it. A lengthy introduction, is it not? And first and foremost, I'm very glad that everybody is here and that our friends are supporting the channel as usual. I'm also certainly hoping that that everybody is there's just some problems with my stream. For whatever reason, just didn't want to present us with that required Twitch pop-up. Right, so what I want to tell you is I'm very grateful to all of you who are supporting the channel, and for all of our members of our Destiny community. Thank you for being here from the beginning. Destiny community is growing, and I think we are like to have a major expansion both in membership and participation as we get cross-platform access early next year. I can't wait for that to happen. I wanted it already for more than 2 or 3 years, and I just think that the future of gaming will have to be going down this route. What we do today in our video gaming industry overall is all about connectivity, interactivity and communication. So you connect, you communicate, you interact both within the game, being a participant, as well as through your comms. What better way to see that but by watching our Warzone streams? They've been amongst the most interactive, the most communicative, the funniest and most entertaining amongst all streams I've had here on my channel. We have several squads, we have one regiment, and everyone there is an ethical gamer who's always prepared to step in, help others, and provide you with a high value content. So, you know, I personally look forward to that sort of community being brought in here as well. I should say the same community being brought in from PlayStation, Xbox and PC at the same time. At the moment this is not possible, and therefore we are all kind of living and gaming in seclusion, and Destiny is really a game that requires that degree of instant access from wherever you are. In addition to that, I forgot to mention, both yesterday and the day before, Destiny is already accessible through xCloud. So if you're on Xbox, you can pull out your tablet or your Android, and you are going to be able to access the game with ease. In order to play it, you'll need your Bluetooth compatible controller, so it's not accessible to online controls for obvious reasons, because this is a shooter and you will need to be able to use the controller in order to complete certain tasks. But that's another add-on compared to all I said, and I think we are likely to see many people joining us on Stadia and using various other streaming platforms in order to participate. So I just can't wait for that date. They've not stated the exact date yet, but it's certainly coming our way, and I'm very, very excited. Okay, it's Christmas, and we'll look back at all that's been accomplished in the course of the year right now. So first of all, I want to tell you that the channel has been, in the course of this year, somewhat differently run compared to the last two, and that's very simple. I mean, the reason is very simple. I felt with my Destiny streams and some of the other promotional ones attached to games like Warzone, Modern Warfare, and Apex, Anthem, etc., the games that were coming out on alphas and betas, we actually reached the pinnacle. I felt I managed to develop the channel to a degree where we had a certain number of participants, and truly delighted really that everybody was so interested and so communicative, because really, due to my internet connection, my channel is not really performing too well on the AV front. And when I watched my streams in Microsoft Store with some of the guys in there, it's the best gaming hub in Europe. If you have a chance, you've got to visit it. Well, you can't visit it today because everything is shut down due to lockdown, but in due course, it is on the corner of Regent Street and Oxford Street in central London. And basically, you go to the first and second floors, and they have fantastic facilities. If you want to experience Destiny, I mean, I have to tell you, what I've got at home now with my setup is better and superior to what they have there. But one thing that obviously they will have, and I do not have it at present, is that ultra-fast fiber, because ultra-fast fiber is fundamental for anything to do with FPS. And we watched together, and they were very, impressed with the content, but the picture quality and the sound were just absolutely abysmal. So my kind of creed and hope and my kind of prayers really for next year will go towards that route, and that will be for me to get full fiber. Unfortunately, I can't really make it myself because I'm dependent on British Telecom and other ISPs in my local area who are unwilling to suffice the demands coming from the local community. In Britain, our internet speeds are absolutely appalling compared to the continent, and we are really lagging behind. I had the government stats the other day, which actually were indicating that they fell behind very significantly, and it's just like 8% of the areas will have access to full fiber, and that's not like 8% of the households, it's just 8% of the areas. So within those 8%, you probably have like 1 or 2% of people having full fiber. It's just mind-boggling. And you will know that with the new tech, the tech that comprises our new consoles, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, we actually require very fast broadband. Those consoles will not perform too well on standard home broadband with upload speeds of 1, and PvP and the graphics will be very taxing on the bandwidth, so therefore the games will be lagging or not performing with hit ratio. So that is what we need. So my prayers are literally for that to materialize in our local area, hoping that as soon as I get it, I'll be able to massively enhance the audio-visual quality of my streams. And that's the reason as to why there have been periods where I've taken longer breaks, because my heart sings. I really try to provide the best possible quality content, and I know if somebody's watching my stream on a mobile phone, then that's bearable. But if you actually expand it to if you blow up to 16-inch screen like the one I've got, it looks absolutely dreadful, and it's very hard on your eyes as well. But I'm very grateful to every one of our community members, and really I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your participation here, because people recognize that this channel is all about communication and interactivity, and all we build here with about, I'd say, 500 people, has been about connectivity, about bonding with others, sharing the same interest. And you would have seen that the same group of veterans of Destiny, Warzone, Apex, Halo and PUBG were always coming up because they wanted to squad up, talk to us, and also engage with others who were sharing the same interest. That is what Twitch and streaming is all about. It is not at all about competition. It is not about doing speedruns or chasing scores. We have competitive gamers in our squads. There are people who are excelling. There are people who are absolutely incredible. But what we do here is a form of communication with others around the world, particularly during the times of this dreadful, dreadful pandemic, where lots of people feel alone, cut off from the world and isolated. I've got to say, and all of my squad mates here will obviously confirm this, none of us who were doing Warzone or Destiny in the course of the last 9 months felt isolated for one single minute. We actually felt so engaged, we felt so closely bonded with our squad mates, with our viewers, and everybody else participating in that same arena. So really, the only thing I can tell you is this is the best time for you to find out what video gaming and interactivity is about. The interactivity elements with video hookups and comms are the next stage of this wonderful new technology. So, find out what it's like today and get ready for the next gen. And you will see in no time we'll be able to integrate WhatsApp and all the other messengers through the video gaming online, and we'll have like small dots where we'll be able to see ourselves if we want to be using our cams, etc, etc. So the actual way of connecting is going to be massively enhanced. And we talked the other day on my broadcast about, well, several other mature gamers like myself. Remember the days where if we want to talk to our relatives in the US or anywhere else in the world, Hong Kong for instance, or Germany, we had to be using our phones, right? The old landlines, and they were costly. So the bills would be mounting up, and we'd spend like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 £100 a month when talking to people worldwide, particularly if you were using the same line for business. It was extremely expensive. Today, with the internet speeds, with apps like WhatsApp and messengers, we pay nothing. You just pay your operator and everything else is provided free of charge. So I can talk to my friends, associates, colleagues, business partners, and people I know worldwide at no cost at all. I can just use WhatsApp, pop up on a video call, and that's it. So things have changed drastically, and in the world of video gaming we have seen a major enhancement. And I've got to say, when it comes to us being able to explore and access different games, there's never ever been a better time. I've been an avid gamer for more than 25 years, and I started out on the original Windows 3.1 with some of the games that came out at the time, and I can certainly tell you the games were at that time very, very exciting, with beautiful graphics and great activity. And what I've seen really evolve during the last 25 years has been mind-boggling. And we are, first of all, compared to those days, today able to access the games through streaming services, which is a novelty. It's been around now for about 5 or 6 years, and that means you can access all the games on the price of a subscription. Okay, so you pay your subscription, like I pay subscriptions to PlayStation now, £8.99 a month, to play £11.99 to Xbox Ultimate, and on that price of £20 a month, I'm accessing more than 1,000 games. Amongst those 1,000 is about 300 AAA blockbusters. I don't pay any extras. Everything is included. I can download the vast majority. That's incredible. Think of Netflix and Amazon Prime. Dozens of thousands of films accessible just by a click on a button. And it's just making it very, very easy for people to explore what the world of film, television series, or in this case video gaming, is all about. You click on one button and you can access the game straight away, try it. What initially, I think I mentioned that several times here, Microsoft executives were very frosty and very skeptical about this new business model, because they said, why on earth would somebody want to buy a game if they played it on the streaming services, and then the game, simply would be completed and they have no more interest in it. But it turned out to be actually the other way, because some games, not all, are time limited on streaming services, and what you do get is people trying it out and perhaps not finishing, like what happened to me with Final Fantasy and with Red Dead Redemption was exactly that. Or the other game I really loved and played was A Kingdom Come Deliverance. And these are really very, very big, massive games. You can't actually finish them in a couple of weeks if you're dedicating maybe a couple of hours a day to the activity. So basically what happened was I tried the games free of charge on a subscription price through the streaming services, loved the games, and then immediately after the games were kind of taken off the server, I bought them through the special offers that Microsoft was providing us with, and I bought them on a very low price. They observed that to be the most significant part of the new business model. They realized after offering a few dozen games initially, lots of people who tried these games actually purchased them afterwards. So the sales were in fact going up, they were ascending, and that is exactly how these things work today. And I'm quite certain if I played a game that I really liked and really want to have, I really enjoyed, I will purchase it. I will purchase it because it's offered on a good price, and I actually played the whole game free of charge, just on a subscription price. So what we can do today is we can explore the entire world of video gaming through this, and we'll pay very little money, and we'll have a very, very good picture of what all of this is about. So there's never ever been a better time to become acquainted either for film, television, series, or indeed video gaming. And I really urge everyone to subscribe, because by subscribing, most importantly, you're supporting so many developers out there. Microsoft Studios are embracing many indie, quirky game makers who otherwise have no marketing budgets, and by investing in Game Pass, you're also investing in this company. So make sure you do that, and your support will be very, very greatly appreciated. So this year has been a year where my streams were dedicated primarily to Destiny and Warzone. We also had Apex and PUBG as the other two main games on the channel. I did stream quite a selection of other games that included also promotions of alphas and betas, Rich, Cold War and Modern Warfare, Anthem and many other games. And I think, quite frankly, everyone would have enjoyed some of those activities, because introducing something which is interesting and new out there is always of interest. And we had also held several very, very good reviews of many games that were indeed just freshly released. One of the busiest streams was, if I'm not mistaken, for the Division 2. No, actually I'm wrong. It was for Ghost Recon. We had Ghost Recon Breakpoint, first alpha and beta, and then we had the initial release, and I held a review, and the review was very, very busy. We had very, very many people popping up and discussing everything that they experienced, and again, it was one of the most successful streams that I've ever had. And the direction of my channel is going to be pretty similar. We'll have two major games on the channel. Presently these are going to be Destiny and Warzone, and then from time to time I will be also giving you some other teasers and tasters of everything else that is currently on offer. Presently we have quite a selection emerging on the Game Pass and PlayStation Now services. So I think particularly with the Game Pass, considering all the games are instantly downloadable, what we'll do is we'll have first of all an introduction, and we'll look at the selection of those that appear to be most interesting, and then we're hoping that some of you are also going to be joining us both in the online gaming activity, as well as perhaps in subscribing to Game Pass or indeed acquiring some of the games. I've got to say there are too many to be looked at, and I've been struggling during the last couple of years with the entire selection, particularly so on PS Now services, because they have lots of blockbusters and many interesting, fairly obscure Japanese games that I've not seen or heard before, and I've really had a difficulty in just having a very quick look and then departing and leaving the game for a later date. But if you aren't a streamer, which means obviously you will have a lot more time at hand for you to explore whatever is on offer to the catalogue, then absolutely get your teeth in and become knowledgeable. In fact, PC Gamer reviewers, the staff writers, they said it was for the first time they were able to play about half a dozen games on PS Now services because they were not accessible previously and they were not released in Western Europe for the European region, and on PS Now services they were, just instantly accessible. So that's the way it's going to be. We'll have, firstly and most importantly, our main games, and I think Destiny and Warzone provide a very, very good combination, as they are, first of all, very closely connected to the community input, and they're based on participation of very many different individuals from worldwide, but they're very different games. Destiny is a family-friendly open world game with many different tasks and activities that will always bring in new gamers. It's very, very sociable in every way imaginable, and also provides us with always something to do. Destiny universe here is busy, it's vast, it gives us many different tasks and quests, and therefore we can always find ourselves entertaining others as well as keeping very busy at any moment in time. And Warzone is a tactical shooter. A massive big map of Verdansk is out there for the squads to entertain, and we've seen many battles here on my channel during the last couple of months, and an 18 plus game, so this is not a game for anyone who's younger than 16, let's just make that plain and clear. And we are also having a major community effort behind our squads and regiment, which makes it a very, very good companion to all that's been completed and accomplished here on the channel previously through Destiny. So these two games are going to be the main ones, and as I said, we'll throw in very many other new releases, or indeed some quirky, nice titles offered to the streaming services. I will reorganize my schedule, and I will also look at the best possible way through which certain games could be introduced. It's all about time, and the games like Destiny and Elder Scrolls and Red Dead, they require a lot of input. It's a lot of hard work. We have many different activities to complete, and therefore I have to work this out. But you'll be informed in due course. All of you who are reading my Twitter, you will get the schedule in there, and also the actual dates and times will be always posted on my Twitch as well. So get ready for a lot more action in the new year, and I'm very excited to see that our community is growing, and I'm hoping that full fiber will come our way as soon as possible, because I have to say, watching my stream on that wonderful setup in Microsoft Store was, it was very disappointing. The content was great, but the picture was terrible, and I'm certain that lots of younger viewers and participants will be put off by the poor picture quality. And then once we get full fiber, once we have a proper enhancement on the tech side of things, the channel is going to be just the way it should be, really. We'll raise the bar, and we'll have many more participants joining us, even maybe for a few minutes now and then, and we'll carry on with our usual high quality content and our mature gamer contribution, as we've always done right from the beginning. So yeah, so that's the introduction for today. It's been lengthy. I told you all about the channel. We reviewed all that's been presented here during the year. We talked about the Dawning, we talked about Destiny, we talked about Warzone, we talked about the news, and now we'll carry on with what we like doing the best, which is our in-game activity in Destiny. As you've heard, this is our new ship, and this ship apparently has some perks that will give us an easy way to the Dawning currency. Dawning Spirit it's called, so we'll have to check this out. And as you can see, the ship looks rather good. I'm quite pleased with it. The first thing we need to do is we need to go to the tower, and then we'll look at everything and we'll do the admin. We'll look at the perks, we'll get sorted, and after that we'll crack on with some activities that will be probably giving us materials and enough stuff in order to bake those cookies. Don't forget the season called The Dawning will be up and running until the 5th of January, and you have got to be completing all of your triumphs, and you need to be confirming them before that date, otherwise all that you had accomplished will be lost. A bit of a tricky instruction, because lots of people forget about triumphs, you know. People don't usually do all the admin every single time, but in this instance it is very important. Look at this ship, looks awesome. Looks a bit like a B-2 bomber, does it not? The hunters watching will be able to tell me exactly. B-2 bombers are a bit different, but still, you know, there's the aura of UFO attached to that wonderful bird. Okay, so the first thing I need to do before I can talk to Ava is to look at the inventory. And we need to look at triumphs. Okay, so that is something I did not look at yesterday at all. And fortunately, as we read the article, I was reminded of this. Let's see, Shadowkeep. Okay, that's been reworked. Mysterious disturbance. Surprise, because I think all of these indeed have been confirmed previously, but for a reason they popped up in a different format. Roper. Light, chapter 1, chapter 3. Still have that beast to destroy. That's the reason as to why we are not really fully done there with that chapter. Okay, what was High Salvation? Power. That's been confirmed. Something else? Oh yeah, something else that I overlooked. Remember what it is. Beyond Light chapter 2. It's a bit strange because new lore discovered. It's like got something called a ship stealer. Had to redo it 6 or 7 times. Not sure what the reason for that was. And exploration. Let's see. Secrets. I've got to say that for anyone who played the original game Destiny 1, you are going to be delighted to discover this, because this is like really detailed. The stats and achievements are incredible. I don't really think any other game has got it as detailed as this, and I love it because it's so easy to go back and see what you accomplished and you know what you completed, and that's really wonderful. Really appreciate it, and Bungie spent a lot of time trying to work this out, and I think in this instance they're excelling compared to all the other developers. This is the best. I've got to say that Anthem was trying to do something similar, but it became very complicated. In here it's plain and simple. In plain English you can see everything, and you can simply track all of your achievements at any moment in time. There! See, that's the one that's given us 3 Dawning Spirits, and acquire the Start Fair at 7M. Complete share the Dawning Spirit. Yeah, well, these are the ones that will be worked on literally throughout the whole season. Wait a minute. I did something wrong this season. And Festival. Well, I actually completed very little. Cookie Delivery Tower, Banshee Shacks, and Zavala. Okay, we completed Zavala. Hangar, Amanda, and Saint. Okay, we'll need to obviously bake these ones for them, so that's all good. We'll work this out. no big deal. And then we'll go to lifetime. So we have Bounty Hunter completed. Wondering as to why I need to do it so many times. So this is something new. Previously it was just like one click and all was done. But it looks like in here, I see it still need to be completing bounties. Okay, that's 1000. These are the new additions. I've not really seen or tried that before. I'm sure our friends will be able to tell us exactly why that is. Combatants. Fire vacuum. Triumphant. No, we don't want that. Path to power. Inner bosses. Slayer. I think loads of these were completed yesterday because we were literally destroying lots of enemies. Archivist. I wonder what that is, 940. That must be some sort of currency. Exotic cipher, look at that. That's very good. I remember what this is. This is basically your lifetime achievements, right? And they talked about this in one of the video documentaries, and that is now fully functional, so that's pretty good. And we can just literally check out at all times what we achieved through the whole game. So if you play the game for 10 years, you'll be able to see exactly what you completed, and obviously what still needs attention. To say Destiny had become a very, very lengthy, almost thorough grind, and that is it is a concern to me because there are some activities that I'm not overly enchanted with, and I've heard that also from some of our veterans. People said because of that, because it becomes a bit repetitive, we don't really want to be doing it every single day. But it depends on the content that is to follow. You know, it's hard to tell whether it will be just present during the lockdown or whether at a later stage we'll be getting many more new add-ons. You know, we'll find out really. We need to be patient and we need to communicate. Anyone has anything to say which is constructive, positive, and forward-thinking, even if it's like massive criticism, you need to write to Bungie, you need to write to their Reddit, you need to post some of the threads, and you can tell them exactly what you feel in relation to the issues that are persisting. What's Leviathan? No, it's nothing. It's not really something that concerns me. Triumphs 2017 to 2020. My Triumph score is 21,435. Okay. Law. What we got there is very, very, very detailed. We got this one. Not yet found. Two.
Service log updated. Daily task.
Oh, I know what it is. It is similar to what we had with Grimoire books, and you get more and more about the story from reading any of these that you can collect. So I'm not going to be reading this at the moment because I want to get on with some activities, but on another day we'll have a look at that most thoroughly. You can see some of those have been collected. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay, got all of these. Okay, now look at the last one.
That they are fighting for the same side.
What is it?
I told him to do this yesterday. His tower certainly smells different than the old one. Looks like there was a rat living in there.
15. 12. I see. Three out of 15, I see. Okay. So this is the way to unlock. Remember that. Whenever you have that cross, you need to be clicking. Ship stealer. Okay, we've got this sorted. So that's pretty much it, I think. My character. Let's see if there's anything else to be deleted.
Please step clear, Guardian.
I think I did that yesterday, towards the end. So I don't have to worry about that.
I told him to do this yesterday.
I want to see the perks. No. So this is...
That's updated.
grants a chance to generate Dawning Spirit whenever you find a Dawning ingredient. And upgrades from the and to all equal to flight quest. So these are the ones that will be unlocked eventually. I haven't got them yet. So quite frankly, I didn't do anything wrong there. Fancy biscuit as well. I quite like the design, so you're not going to be changing design at all. I really like it. So we'll take a nice screenshot of this.
Service log updated. Daily tasks underway.
Let's double check something, bear with me.
I can definitely fix that.
I never thought I'd live to see the darkness written.
Let's think about that.
Give what you want to receive.
That's impossible.
Apologize for this. I wanted to just my stream was performing well because there were some serious issues. I stream through Xbox, PlayStation, and I have to say it does. PlayStation is performing on the Twitch app. But
Yeah, that's right.
once I get that fiber, that all of that will be long gone. Okay, so these all have been unlocked, and we need to see where we are going to be.
I was just... Oliva's got something special for you.
The most important thing to remember is these bounties. You need to pick
Why
them
not?
up and then get them sorted. Not enough space. Well, we are going to straight away. One of the let's go to the vault. Because I do not want to miss out on any of that loot. Remember that. None. This one I'll keep. All the other ones are put in the vault. For all of you who knew this major archive erected, it was just a vault, but have exotic archive and doing any quests in Destiny universe, you just go here, you interact, and then what you do is you'll pick up a task. The only trouble there is it's very grindy. So in order to get one of these, you know, you will need to be wait a minute.
Sure, why not?
In order to get any of these, you'll need to have lots of different, so as you can see, let's say you want to do Sturm, which is your hand cannon. You need to get everything, and which is very hard to get. I just picked it up now after doing the Triumph's recognition, or I should say acknowledgement. And then I need Glimmer, Microphasic, Datilatis. It's absolutely tongue-breaking. It's Microphasic Data Lattice. I'll repeat this again. Microphasic Data Lattice. That's what it is. An Ascendant Shard. So you know you need to grind in order to get the quest, and then you will be let me see. Then you will be getting it. So it's right. Need to make the tea, and then with the rest, get that
Carlos and Ori was no one person for it. That would make it
river, and we are
Oliva's
getting
got
that
something
sparrow
special
straight
for
away.
you.
Gifts of Dawning's Past. Right? So I've got this one. What's this? Celebrate your Alpine Dash Sparrow with resting perks. Some of these perks during the dawning. Glimmer and Legendary Shards. Okay, we need to get Glimmer and Legendary Shards, then we'll pick this up and get some upgrades. Well, there's a lot of that, and even before the launch shadow.
You come to the wrong place, but I'm still happy.
I wanted to make everything here worthwhile. I think they've really excelled, really worked very hard on that edition, and to have all of your weapons raised to double or full energy. You need to play mates in order to necessary.
Taller, I getting shorter.
Take a nice screenshot of Ava.
Enjoy it.
Addicts for the with renewed confidence.
Is that weapon I picked up yesterday, and it's one of those major weapons that you get here. This yeah, so that's Glacier Clasm,
Fire is
right?
the
We need to
Arctic's
lock the
one
weapon.
true enemy. Always been.
They are fighting for it.
Yeah, I locked it. And this is. I need to remember, you know, because I well, if you are picking up any weapons that are given to you a season, and if they're rare, then you, because it does happen sometimes that our gamer do, you know, routine inspection, they just delete some of the items because they're occupying the vault and kind of immediately distinguish, which is like, let's say, every moment and Glacier Clasm, because Glacier Clasm is rare, and this one you'll get quite a few times. The ones which you're not getting frequent, therefore they cannot be accidentally. Okay.
Must understand.
Oh no, this is 1201. I actually want to try Nightfall. Let's see what perks it has. The arrowhead break. Yeah, we'll keep the recoil controls. Power charge. Okay, increase range. And then we have increased mobility, weapon range and handle.
I live to see the dark.
Rounds. Specs. Enough anything. That's ridiculous. Actually want to have maybe some of this. Maybe not. Since I think the first one. You think? I quite liked it.
I never thought I'd live darkness return.
I like that one as well.
I may need a schematic to read the schematic. Usual symbology here.
There we are. You might ask yourself, what is it doing? Because that other blending in with the overall environment of Europa. That's true, but I wanted this to be blending with my outfit. So let's see. Dawning Cheer is a very, very good sparrow. This RT, which you can use if you want to release roll stabilizer. You can also roll. Dawning Cheer Glimmer Pens. That's due to that you'll see it. You can see it's a trick while riding here will spawn the Dawning. Very well. And beautiful sunny day. And we are just
Luck out there, Guardian.
hello. We can miss that. But with my missing, but actually, again, because you see now it's funny. We're getting useful. I don't know. correct, I can flip in here. What? Monument to Lost Lights? No. It's strange, isn't it? View first. Then. Alright my friends, we are going to be cracking on with some activity, so let's see. We have quests in there. We need to double check if there's anything on... No, it's not there actually. So we can just stroll to these bounties, see what these are. We have mod kills, we have progress, we have finisher. Okay. Scorn. Snowballs, infinite forest cakes. Okay, so these are various cakes and biscuits that we need to bake. Dawning spirits generated, cookie delivered. Okay, so that's fairly close, I think. 50%. Precision and shotgun. Okay. Share the Dawning Spirit, 573. Okay. So where are we gonna be going? Let me think. We'll go to destinations. Looks like we can do something there. Tangled Shore. Okay. We'll go to Tangled Shore. And we have bake dead candy ghosts and deliver the spider in the Tangled Shore. Okay.
you're eager to deal death, I'm happy to help.
Good choice, my friend.
Your glimmer is always welcome here.
Thieves Landing. Got to say that the completing the graphics for Beyond and the next gen is just absolutely mouth-watering. Really. Chest in there. A different heavy.
Looks like a fallen containment cell's about to drop out of orbit. Look at that. Everyone. Well, that was fast and rather easy. Nice. Iron Akiron. Interesting names here in Destiny. Using Tonguebreaker. I think my stream's working a bit better today compared to the problems of yesterday. It's quite good to see. Quite frankly, I don't see any enemies in there, so I'll give that a miss.
to go to this other event, by the looks of it. Jump on the Sparrow. Try to get that ASAP. Collecting glimmer, as you can see, everything. Well, this will be sweet. I'm not a bit scared. Anytime you see them anywhere. Basically, destiny like that.
Sensors show an inbound containment cell from the prison of elders. First one appears easy, second one more separate. Essence of Dawning I picked up. Right. So let's see. Essence of Dawning, that should be. Oh, we got this one. Okay. Strikes of all stripes.
wasn't entirely sure. Got some materials. What's this? Scout rifles, sniper rifles, pulse rifles, boys. I need to use my pulse rifle. Let's see where else I need to go. Just a minute. Chest. Missed it. Lots of people complained about Glimmer. Glimmer being too easily accessible and us amalgamating huge stacks. That's changed with the online. It's been that many anymore. That is becoming precious. I'm wearing this perk that's telling me where the chests are. So that's pretty good. Right. And we want to see Dark Ether Cane and Flash of Inspiration. Dark Ether Cane and Flash of Inspiration. Okay. Dark Ether Cane and Flash of Inspiration. Flash of Inspiration no one got. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Where's the we need to find out where the next event is. Okay, it's not too far. Sorry. Go back. This is looking awesome, look at this. But like a rocket, it wasn't more Spyro, was it? It's incredible. Let's get some ammunition. Always remember to bring up. That's really deadly. Let's use them. How many have I got? Oh, one shot, 2 kills. It's not bad. Need my ammunition. Get the ammunition. Missed it. I am missed. It's not very many, is it? It's funny, when you get these tasks, you're not getting many enough item materials, weapons, or ammunition, whatever. Always the case. Otherwise you get many more, but when you do a quest, the one you actually need is in short supply. Right, I need to see what I'm doing with these bounties actually. Multi-kills. 5 out of 50. What? Yeah, no wonder I'm not getting anything. I'm using the wrong rifle. So it should be pulse rifle and a sniper rifle. Okay, fine. Put sniper on. Alright, let's see. 50 we need to get, so we'll do. Forgot about that event. Sounds good. Chest. Loot. Okay. So we're doing any better? We are actually not better. 14 out of 50. Okay. 19. Okay.
Up. A fallen containment cell's about to touch this sector.
There we are. Stop them one to death. Look at them. This is well, that was not very good, was it? It's the wrong weapon. The lag nearly killed me. Chest. Supercharged glimmer booster. Okay, that's useful. Try to get this. Have to engage as many enemies as possible and then get materials that are going to spawn randomly. The whole idea is that you engage in as many activities as possible everywhere around Destiny universe and then get materials and bits and pieces, so that's the idea behind it. But I mean, I really can't say that generally I would find those grinds to be annoying or really repetitive. If I'm doing them like in small quantity, if I was doing that for quite a few hours, then, you know, a bit concerned. I guess what really concerned me in the last season was getting the loot that was not particularly rewarding. So lengthy grinds get rewarded, but the actual not particularly useful. That was definitely an issue for me. Oops, nearly went into the abyss. I have to say I've not seen either Jerry or playing pirates in here for a long while, and really concerns me. I hope the guy's alright. Because both of them are living in, well, playing pirates is in Nevada, and Jerry's in Texas. Both areas really badly affected by COVID. Just hope that everyone is safe. Wish everyone all the way during these festive hours. Very, very strange, different Christmas for me really compared to all the other ones. But you know, I'm no exception. It's exactly the same for everyone. I'm still in full social isolation and talk to my family and friends exclusively on WhatsApp and all other online platforms. Absolutely not with anyone. So no travel, and I'll be cooking my own Christmas dinner for the first time ever. What I mean is, I cooked it like every single year, but in this instance I'm just going to be cooking it for myself and no one else. I'm going to be eating my Christmas dinner for the rest of the night. So, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be a very, very good dinner. I'm quite look forward to a lovely... Thanks to Spanner, he reminded me of what I like eating the best. Mapled honey glazed parsnips. Mapled honey glazed parsnips. That is what I will be having together with my Brussels sprouts and turkey. And potatoes, of course. Right, so what's going on with that bounty? Have we done a what? Almost 40 out of 50. Okay. So I'm going to do another event, and that will be in Fourhorn Gulch. Okay. Fourhorn Gulch. Put it up. Okay, good. Oh, look at that spot. Awesome. I like that. Sparrow is too heavy. Cannot be going up together with us. It's not just me riding funky, fancy sparrows. There we are. Our friend was racing to get here as well, I think. Come on, get up. Rally to the flag. Take place very, very shortly. I'm hungry. I just can't
Sensors
wait
show
for
that
that cross
Easter harvest is initializing near our current position.
We have all of our friends here coming from everywhere. Stadia, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Androids. We'll be very, very busy. You see, this is annoying. As you can see, this is glitched, right? No enemies in there. to me. Is he gone or not? Everyone's dead. Actually, I think we succeeded with bounty. Should have done. I should have been well completed. Yeah, that's right. Dawning Spirit 2, Blounce Flameless Materials. So what's this? Multi-kills and Scorn. Right, okay, next. Actually, my friends, what I need to do is I need to take a short break and then we'll carry on as usual. It's turning out to be very enjoyable, doing really well, getting everything sorted and getting all the materials. Very happy. So bear with me, I'll be back in literally 1 minute.
Alright, my friends, everything is looking bright and sunny out here. And I'm very happy about all we've seen so far. Let me just see, this headset's not sitting on my head properly for some reason, am I? Okay. Still not ideal. Yeah, right. Okay. So, let us have a look. Just have a look first of all what we accomplished, because I really want to see those cookies, and I want to see whether we can get one of these for our friend Spider. Let's have a look. Tess, Croyshaw, Ava Varix. There we are. Dark Ether Cane, Flash of Inspiration. Okay, Dark Ether Cane, Flash of Inspiration. Dark Ether Cane, Flash of Inspiration. Dark Ether Cane. No, Flash of Inspiration. What's this? Essence of Dawn. Burn Edge Transit's Holiday Gift. Okay, Burn Edge Transit. Burnt Edge. We should be able to get this. Bright Dusted Snowballs. Sweet. I know what it is. I wasted it. That's what it is. I wasted it. Right, so we need to look at this a bit differently, I think. To look at quests.
recipe. Okay. So we'll have ether cane, and then we'll have, what is it? Vex milk bullet spray. Recipes. Cabal oil. Okay. So these ones are all different types of recipes. So electric flavor. Taken butter. Sharp flavor. I mentioned doing it the wrong way around, but I just thought maybe we could, but we can't really, because we need those other essences which we do not have. Okay. So we've got some other bound to smelt kills we need to complete, and scorn. Okay. So we'll go to destinations. Let me see. Go back to Tangled Shore, I think. Seemed busy. And we'll do a bit more. But on the other hand, I think all the activities are being spread out, you know, to various areas. And that's probably what we do have to do. To go to different parts of our Destiny universe in order to get all the materials. The best thing to do is you just keep doing the activities and you collect all the materials, as many as possible, and then you'll be looking at the recipes. What I did wrong was I didn't look at the recipe and I was just trying to make a cookie which in fact was using a wrong combination, and therefore I lost it all. So it just got, you know, it went banned. Don't matter. Do it again. The activities are very enjoyable and you're not missing out on anything. Right, so we'll go quickly to another area where there's another
showing a fallen containment cell inbound position.
Tenacious Rebuke. Well, that's pretty good, isn't it?
servitor now. Did we get any more essences? Does anyone know? Well, we can't tell. Right, so it's ingredient and essence, right? So then considering we've done it in here, we need to go to the moon. So we haven't done anything on the moon. Dreaming City. Yeah, we'll try Dreaming City. Off to the Dreaming City. I'm not been to the Dreaming City now for some time, so it's quite good. You can tell just by looking at the planet, the textures. I can see straight away how, you know, they reworked out the next gen. On my setup post, it's just so detailed. way that the weakest of them all got me. That is ultra ridiculous. And you know what? That's because the whole thing was glitched. This ant was not supposed to stop and just carried on. Did you not see? To get the chest. What is going on? Where's the chest? Oh, up here. Okay. Glimmer. Okay. Let's see again. Quests. Bounties. We completed one. Excellent. 2 extra dawning spirit. So that's almost there. 14. Must be 20, 25. What's this one? Scorn. Cabal. Okay. Essence. Okay, any essences. So that's not very good, is it? We need to see what else we can get from here. Let's see. That's. No. It's good enough. Oh, we're fine. Okay. It's a good picture.
See, you're still in the fight.
Well, she looks very different compared to Petra I remember from Destiny 1, don't you? The prince lives. My sympathies, Petra turns to you. I dreamt of the passing, the worlds, those who remained, and the shadow that hung over them. I'm afraid the dreaming city hasn't fared well since the darkness swept through our system. You can taste the difference in the air. It is as if there is a war being fought with smoke bending around us and slipping through our hair, leaving nothing but scorched scent. I do not enjoy being left out of the loop, but we persevere. As you turn to leave, she stops you. There is one more thing. A rumor. She considers for a moment before speaking. The prince lives. Petra's eyes scan your reaction. Impossible, I know, but it's more than a rumor. I don't want to hear it from a report. Do you bring news on our rumor, or have you come to see how deep the cryptolyphs have burrowed? Petra hides the stress of command behind steely eyes. You know, they really should have introduced dialogue in there. That would have been much better. I hear you're not the only guardian running chores for Spider. At suggest caution, but you know what you're getting yourselves into. Petra slaps your shoulder. Spider lackey or not, you're a welcome sight. Her humorous tone quickly fades to seriousness. Zivara's presence is strong here. I'm not keen on another hive matron worming their way into awoken territory. Whatever terror she's sowing here, Petra says, as if delivering an order, burn it out. The Queen's wrath straightens the shoulders. We will hold back her abominations where we can, but my corsairs are not impervious to her call, nor am I. I'll leave that to you. Okay, so we've got quests.
Good choice.
Dark Monastery. Daily bounties completed.
Good choice.
Pick all bounties. Consumables.
You'll like that one.
Dark fragment. Raids. We're not going to do any of these. Supercharged. So let me see what else have we got. Dark Monastery. Okay, we'll do this. We are going to do Dark Monastery. We've not done it before. Exciting. See if I've picked up any significant items in there. In addition, we need to see what bounties still require completion. Avas, we have Scorn, we need to destroy. Defeat combatants using a finisher. Okay, Holiday Gift delivered. Holiday Gift delivered, Holiday Gift delivered. Bake 1,000 layer cookies. Okay, so we got 4 of these, okay. Gifts baked, gifts delivered. I see. Okay. So we'll have more for the Dreaming City. Do maybe these two as quickly as possible. Baryon Bar. Lovely, 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 beautiful scenery. I can just actually walk through there and devour everything every day, the whole day. It's so beautifully designed. Mind you, you look at Elder Scrolls and you look at Fallout, for instance, Fallout 76. Wonderful designs, wonderful, wonderful. Everyone's trying to excel, you know. Oh, who's that? Wonder who that is. We got strange reports coming in from the Crosshair Lines. Sit back. We've got strange reports coming in from Corsairs. I need to sit back. Let's see what the sit trap is.
The Scorn are gathering at the entrance to the monastery up ahead. Looks like some kind of siege. We don't have eyes on the ground over there, and I can't leave my post. Could you, maybe?
Check it out? Of course.
Thanks.
So we need to investigate the monastery. I want to see the weapons, whether we have anything else that could be enabled. Let's see. 1200 combat boy, 1200. Cold denial sniper rifle. eventually. 1180, 1200. Okay. It's 1200. Let's see. Oh, I got so little glimmer. That is ridiculous. How can that be? How can that be? All of these are completely useless. 200 capped. Okay. Alright, so that's sorted. Let me see what we've got here. Pulse rifle, fusion rifle, and a sword. Okay. So, investigate the monastery. So we need to find out monasteries. investigate the monastery. So this is what we are going to be doing. That will be the last activity for today. My very enjoyable stream. Thoroughly enjoyed the activities. Very, very interesting, and I think Destiny is becoming more and more complex as we go along. I guess the veterans, it's all nice and clear, but for anyone coming in for the first time, it will be a bit tricky to find out what one needs to be doing when and where. And that is, I guess, what will pose a problem for anyone who wants to do it solo. But to be honest with you, if you are on Xbox or PlayStation, just make a posting on Most Wanted. You have that section which tells everyone that you need some partners for your gameplay, and leave it in there. It's like an advert, and then you'll get people coming in and saying hello. So remember that, very important. Considering how beautifully festive Destiny 2 is, we'll probably have some streams on and off during the festive period. Explosive, and I should never do that. Okay, remember it. Well, we've done something wrong. sentient by the looks of it.
just disrupted some kind of ritual in an ascendant plane pocket, transmitting video and data capture for further analysis.
Excellent. I'll bring the report to the Techians. Well done, Guardian.
Oh, got essence of dawning material. Okay. Right, so I think that brings us to the end of our broadcast for today. I just want to see whether we can make any of the gifts and then we'll call it a day. I was actually thinking of having the last one before Christmas today, but I really enjoyed the activities, I have to say. We had a lengthy rundown on the year and everything else earlier in the broadcast. So tomorrow maybe I have just like 90 minutes of straightforward gaming run, and it is Christmas Eve, so we'll have you know, a bit of a different schedule. We need to see. I don't see anything. We want to go back to quests, bounties. Okay, I completed this one. Scourge of the Tick. Fragment currency, okay. Scorn Slayer. Dawning Spirit. And that's it really. That's disappointing. I thought perhaps Smooth Friendly of Mint. Dawning Spirit. Okay, so apply that. Chocolate ship cookies completed. Chocolate ship cookies. Who needs to have these? Let me see. I've given it to Amanda already. I've given it to Amanda already. So let us see if we've got. Let's see. Sharp flavor, delicious explosion. Delicious explosion. Let's see. Select flavor. Well, my friends, I can't really work it out at the moment, and I'm a bit tired. So I think all this will go back to the tower really quickly. Today. Ah. Christmassy, wintry, plenty of snow as you could see. Going back to the tower. If we need to sort out, then we'll call it today.
Yes. Check, check, check. Acknowledged.
See. To see what's
What cipher is this?
before. Dawning spirits. So what are these clubs like? See.
This tower smells different.
Speak to me not of the I want no part.
Very good.
Darkness return.
6,900. So something
Guardians on my doorstep.
and I think triumphs. Got some triumphs. Challenge. Tangled shore.
Don't forget. Wait. What the...
Guardian, what puzzles do
So it becomes light combatants.
I never live to see the darkness return.
step? Such as this.
Very good. So and then is Dark Monastery completed. City.
Zawala and Eris must understand that they are fighting for the same side.
Golden ticket.
Speak to me out of the darkness. I want part.
Right. Come to today. Thank you very much for supporting supportable causes here at the channel and by thank you for more and leave the broadcast in the beginning today. All the other random on the channel. Yeah, so like I said, I wanted to be content and healthy. Stay at home, keep everyone up. We are very different usual. I myself, for the first time in spending families. Nevertheless, very single
day. Everyone else the same, connecting and talking to others, miserable even if they have doctored virtual. At many in the dawning season today, and with this the whole and 50 to see on my channel for this sound effect coming in channel day ever since the channel has been in a very good community members. And thank you for all of your support. Emails use mostly want to give out appreciate every single one who also participated here, which is live online. Very one points, interactions, and live. Thank you for all of that. Come to the end of our broadcast. I would like to say very happy Merry Christmas. Spending it once. If this has to be forums, we're going to have a very nice Christmas, certainly shall. Keep healthy, keep well. So talk to our people and once again, Merry Christmas to you all. A very night.
Legion or opponent.
How better than the guy? Time has come to clear.